Good evening, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to the Sky's the Limit Aviation channel. My name is Michael, also known as Sky's the Limit. We're going to try heading back home to Atlanta again in the PMDG 737-800 for Delta Airlines. We are Delta 2023. Going to be heading out of Minneapolis, St. Paul. We do have VATSIM. Minneapolis and Chicago centers are online right now. Just getting things set up in the cockpit, getting ready to file my flight plan on VATSIM. And then we'll get the ball rolling here. Hope everybody's having a good night.
Minneapolis Tower, good evening. Delta 2024.
It is, let's see, it's 0031 Zulu.
Tower pushback route.
We'll say 0100, 35,000 feet, 488 knots, arriving in Atlanta. Alternate is Nashville.
Contact departure 121.05. Have a great flight.
En route time
Departure
should be
121.05. Southwest 236. Have a good day.
Delta 165, wind 280 at 16, gust 33, fly heading 320, runway 30 left, clear for takeoff.
Fly heading 320, runway 30 left, clear for takeoff, Delta 165.
All right, go ahead and file our flight plan. And we'll probably get a PDC from the tower. Or we just might have to call and get our clearance. And there's our ACARS. All right, Delta 2023, Boeing 738, clear to the Atlanta International Airport via the Zimbro 7 departure OD transition, then as filed, altitude 350, squawk 3616. Three 616 ident.
Number 33 Golf, runway 30 left, lines away, caution jet blast.
Line up await, 30 left, 30 Golf.
Okay, gonna be 7,000 for the initial, and then expect 350 10 minutes
just so you know,
after.
the departure frequency is 121.05.
And 12105. Okay, 12105 is our departure frequency. Looks like it is snowing out here in Minneapolis today. And we're already on tower 2670 for the push. 30 left, so it'll be a long taxi from the south side of the terminal.
128.016, gust 33, fly runway heading, runway 30 left, clear for takeoff.
Fly runway heading, 30 left, clear for takeoff, 30 Golf.
Okay, let's go ahead
Contact
and...
departure 121.05, have a great flight.
2105, Delta 165, see.
Okay, fuel. Be our fuel. Hey Frank, how are you, sir? I didn't think I'd be streaming either, but here we are.
America 1418, Minneapolis Tower 5x5.
We're going to try this flight down to Atlanta once again, because we think we may have finally figured out the issues that we were having.
260, true takeoff.
Number 33 Golf, contact departure 121.05. Have a great flight.
121.05. Thanks for the ATC today. True takeoff.
Okay, top of climb. So it's going to be 267. Oh, 267 at 39.
Minneapolis Tower, hello, Delta 1280, visual 37.
Delta 1280, Minneapolis Tower, wind 280 at 16, gust 33, runway 30 left, cleared land.
There we
30
go.
left, cleared land, 1280.
And then, all right, 2, 7, 3, 9 winds.
Delta
And one limit,
2624,
the
runway
normal
30 left,
takeoff.
taxi via Alpha.
Flaps 5. 136, 138, 147. 147 plus 15 is 162. And then we got 301 heading. Okay, flight directors are on. LNAV is engaged. Altitude 7,000 feet. Runway heading 301. Speed's going to be 162 knots, which is V2 plus 15. Yeah, I know. I'm quite excited. A snowy departure. All right, I have to step away for just a quick second. I will be right back, guys. Definitely no pun intended.
And Tower American 1418, will IFR be a PDC today?
American 1418, expect PDC.
Roger, thanks so much.
And American 1418, just so you know, your departure frequency will be 121.05. The PDC client just doesn't let me put that in.
Alright, 121.05 on that departure, American 1418.
Delta 2624, runway 30 left, line up await.
Okay, kids, we're back.
Delta 1280, welcome to Minneapolis. Exit right when able and say gate.
Right when able, and we'll be parking at the Foxtrot gate into the alley 1280.
Okay, auto brake
Delta
set, parking
1280,
brake
Roger,
set,
taxi
comm
parking
nav
via
set, transponder
Alpha Delta.
set.
Alpha Delta parking.
Hey, Nebulation, how are
1280.
you, sir? Pre-flight checklist. Oxygen tested 100%, nav transfer display normal auto, window heat on, pressurization mode. Should be on auto. Flight instruments. Heading of 301, 7,000 for the initial climb, 350, 10 minutes after. Parking brake set, engine levers are cut off. Pre-flight checklist is complete.
Ready to push on Delta 6. Delta 710 Minneapolis Tower, standby 1. Delta 2624, wind 280, 16 gust 33, fly heading 280, runway 30 left, clear for takeoff.
Fly heading 280, before
And Delta 710, pushback approved, and just for your information, your departure frequency will be 121.05.
pushback approved, and the new departure will be 120.05, Delta 710.
Delta 710, 121.05.
121.05, 710.
Right back to the takeoff page. Oh, wait, let me jot down. Ah, sweet. Congratulations, sir. That is exciting news. And there goes the GSX vehicles up and under the aircraft. I am doing pretty good. We had a
Delta 2624, contact departure 121.05. Have a great flight.
had a very nice afternoon.
24, bye-bye.
And got a new addition to the man cave delivered today. I got a L-shaped desk that I'm going to set all my whole
Delta 1418,
gaming rig and everything on at some point.
Into the alley there.
Okay, Roger, we can wait till he gets in that alley. How long is he?
Delta 1280, what's your gate again?
Foxtrot, standby. Foxtrot 9 are good, so if you can push, I don't think they're able.
American 1418, he's going to one of the further up ones, so you should be good to push there.
Alright, Roger, thanks. We'll be good to push.
So anyways, we think we solved the issue of, well, we still don't know what caused the flight sim to crash the other day, other than it was a terrain DLL error, which means that it could have been the Orbix scenery, it could have been the aircraft itself, it could have been any of the add-ons that are in the prepared client itself. We just don't know. The FS autosave feature in FSUI PC I solved doing a little bit of research online, and it turns out that Windows Defender is what causes the little 5 to 8 second pauses when it saves all the information in the flight to the save file. So you can either A, turn off Windows Defender before you do a flight, or B, there's a whole bunch of stuff that you can set up as exclusions in Windows Defender, so it basically ignores the changes that you're making to the folder when it creates a save file. I was doing some testing late last night with Windows Defender real-time protection shut off and then turned back on with the exclusions in place, and there was just a minuscule little bit of a pause, not even anything that I would say would even be noticeable. So I just went ahead and just decided that I'm just going to shut Windows Defender real-time protection off anytime I fly,
Delta 710,
and I have FS autosave to save every 5 minutes.
Via Papa, Delta 710.
And if the sim happens to crash, I can just pick right back up where we started. So that's what we are going to do from this point forward. Go ahead and close our doors. Looks like we're done with the baggage. We'll go ahead and close the cargo doors at this time. Back up into the cockpit. Hey, Golfy, how are you, sir? Oh, hey. Well, hello, Minneapolis Tower. Welcome. I'm finishing up my pre-flights and stuff, and I'm already got you tuned in. And I'll be requesting my pushback and start here in a second. Actually, I think in the PDC, you just went ahead and call you for push when I get ready. Well, nice to see you, man. I believe I've dealt with you before on Minneapolis Tower, so. Okay, pre-flight checklist. Oxygen tested 100%. Nav transfer display normal. Auto. Window heat is on. Pressurization's auto. 301 runway heading. 7,000 for the initial climb. 350, 10 minutes after. Parking brake is set. Engine start levers are to cut off. Pre-flight checklist is complete. Hey, we're happy that we're happy for the ATC services. Okay, pushback engine start. Flight deck doors and windows closed and locked.
Delta 710, wind 280 at 16, gust 33, fly runway heading, runway 30 right, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, runway 30 right, Delta 710.
Okay, packs are coming off. Oops. APU is coming on. APU bleed is on. Anti-collision light is on. Okay, before start checklist. Flight deck door closed and locked. Fuel 25 tons. Passenger signs on. Windows locked. CDU pre-flight complete. Rudder and aileron trim 3 and 0. MCP is set up. V2 plus 15 is 162 knots. Got our V speeds, 136, 138, 147. Takeoff briefing. Standard takeoff, runway 30 left in the event of engine failure or any other emergency. We have runway left. We'll come to a stop, exit off, assess the situation, taxi back to the gate under power if we can, or we'll call for a tow. If it's after V2, we will climb out, contact Minneapolis Center, go into a brief hold, assess the situation, vectors back to the airport, take off, and taxi briefing is complete. Okay, anti-collision lights are on. APU is on.
Delta 710, contact departure 121.05. Have a great flight.
The jetway.
Departure flight 05, Delta 710, see ya.
Power, chocks removed.
Tower Masaba 3677 for push on Quebec with Sierra.
Masaba 3677, Minneapolis Tower. Thank you for Quebec. Push and start approved.
Push approved off Charlie 21, Masaba 3677.
Okay, APU bleed on, engine bleed is off. And we are about ready for pushback. And go back over here. Yeah, I know, set the parking brakes. Yeah. It doesn't look like ATIS is up anymore, but I did have Sierra, so. Minneapolis Tower, Delta 2023 over on Lindbergh Terminal 1, ready for push and start.
Delta 2023, Minneapolis Tower. Pushback approved.
Pushback approved, Delta 2023.
And Tower American 1418. If you're wondering why it's been a minute, I was trying to get my AP
Due to icing conditions, please stand by for engine start until push is completed and brakes are set.
American 18, correction, American 1418. Sorry, what was that again?
Yeah, if you're just wondering why we'd be sitting here while we had some problems with the aircraft, but we got it now, thanks.
American 1418, roger.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
Let's see, we got. Now we do have some fuel in the center tank.
Bypass pin inserted.
Go ahead and turn on the fuel pumps for the center. Crossfeed valve on. My day was pretty good. Had to kind of sit around the house all day. I got a large L-shaped desk that I got off of Amazon for a really good deal. It got delivered late this afternoon, although UPS said, oh, we'll be there between 11 and 3 o'clock in the afternoon, so you don't have to waste your whole day waiting. And they didn't show up until nearly 6. So, day wasted, basically. But it's all good. And then had to run a couple errands. Wifey and I went out to dinner. Let's see, we want the nose to the right, tail to the left. Let me double check. Yep, nose right, tail left.
Release parking brakes, please.
Parking brakes released.
Due to icing conditions, please stand by for engine start.
Yeah,
until
yeah,
push
yeah.
is completed and brakes are set.
It's a snowing and a blowing in Minneapolis. Yeah, so it was too big for Amazon to bring out on one of their trucks, so they shipped it UPS. And that's always an adventure. But yeah, wifey and I went to Chick-fil-A for dinner and came home. She's down watching some Lifetime movie, I imagine, like she usually always is, and working on her next Instagram fashion post. And I figured I'd come up here and see if we can pull off a flight without crashing the simulator. And talking to some other live streamers, yes, simulator crashes do happen when you're in the middle of a live stream, so I don't feel so bad about the other day. As crazy as that was anyways. Okay, parking brakes are set. All right, and we'll start engine number 2.
Mini Tower, Airbus, November 1143. I do not have an ATIS,
Doing here.
but I am ready to copy IFR clearance as filed.
Okay, APU bleed is supposed to be on.
Airbus 1143, Minneapolis Tower. The ATIS just got back up, and you should have received a PDC.
And the... yeah, APU on, APU bleed
Mini
on.
Tower, I do have it here. I'm all set, ready to go, and I'm going to go ahead and request taxi at this time. Airbus 1143, Roger.
All right, what do we got wrong here?
Runway 30 left taxi via Alpha. Taxi to runway 30 left via taxiway Alpha, Airbus November 1143.
In Mini Tower, American 1480, ready, taxi 30 left.
American 1418, runway 30
Let's see
left
if
taxi
that-
via Delta Alpha.
There we go.
Delta Alpha.
Turned
30
off the
left,
wrong valve.
American 14.
All right, waiting for 20% on the N2. Go ahead and introduce fuel. Good fuel flow. Oil pressure's coming up. And looks like we got a good light off on engine number 2. Yeah, I know, GSX. You made me wait until the taxi was, or until pushback was complete, so don't give me your crap. Wait for the starter switch to disengage. And starting engine number 1. And rotation on N1. And introducing fuel. Oil pressure's coming up, got good fuel flow. Oil temperature is rising. And EGT's coming up, got a good start on engine 1.
Minneapolis Tower, Delta 1446 here at Gate Gulf 14, request push and start with Sierra.
Delta 1446, Minneapolis Tower, thank you for Sierra. Pushback on to Bravo is approved.
And engine start switch is
Push on to Bravo for
disengaged.
Delta 1446.
probe heat's coming
Airbus
on.
1143, are you going to be ready to go here?
Tower, yes, I'm actually ready to go now if I can get the takeoff clearance.
Airbus 1143, wind 28015, gust 20, fly heading 260, runway 30 left, clear for takeoff, traffic 7 out.
Fly heading 260.
APU is coming
runway
off.
10 left, Airbus November 1143.
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed. Left is clear.
Hex
Right is
to
clear.
auto. Isolation valve is auto. Engine bleed is on. APU bleed is off. APU is off. Flight controls free and clear. Overhead panel checked. Recall check. Generators on. After start checklist is complete. Ah, sweet. And bye-bye GSX guy.
Delta 208 Heavy, Minneapolis Tower, yep.
Okay, transponders on mode C. Let's see.
Minneapolis Tower, Delta 208 Heavy, on a short final runway 30 left, ILS. Delta 208 Heavy, wind 28015, gust 20, runway 30 left, clear to land. Runway 30 left, clear to land, Delta 208 Heavy. Attention all aircraft, Minneapolis departure information Tango, arrival information India now current, the Minneapolis altimeter 3006.
3006, checked. All right.
November 1143,
Flaps
contact
to 5.
departure 123.4 now. Have
On
a
the
great
way
flight.
down, stab trim is set. MCP is set up. Recall check.
Airbus November 1143.
Airbus November 1143, correction
Auto throttle is
133.4. my
armed.
bad.
No worries at all, Tower 133.4. Airbus November 1143. Thanks for your help, thanks for your service.
Minneapolis Tower, Delta 2023 is ready for taxi.
Delta 2023, runway 30 left, taxi via Alpha.
30 left via Alpha, Delta 2023. Yep, I've already verified my takeoff speeds.
Delta 208 Heavy, welcome to Minneapolis. Exit right at Delta, right turn Alpha to parking of your choice. Have a great night.
Roger, right turn Delta and then Alpha park choice, Delta 208 Heavy. And just be advised that cloud bottoms are about 3,200 and about a 5 mile visibility below that coming in.
Delta 208, roger that, thank you.
It looks like
Minneapolis Tower, Delta 2166, with Tango 36.
Delta 2166, Minneapolis Tower, where are you calling for push?
Affirmative, push,
Delta 2166, roger, push and start approved.
let's start with yeah.
All right, before takeoff checklist, flaps set, stab trim set, landing lights will come on before we enter the runway, strobe lights also, auto throttle is armed, Transponder is set before takeoff checklist is complete.
Minneapolis Tower Delta 1446, ready to taxi.
And again, going out on the Zimbro 7,
Delta
RNAV
1446,
departure
verify
with the
squawking by Charlie.
OD transition.
American 1418, wind 28015, gust 20, fly heading 280, runway 30 left, clear for takeoff.
28030 left, clear for takeoff, American 1418.
Delta 1446, see you there, thank you. Runway 30 right, taxi via Alpha Charlie Papa.
30 right via Alpha Charlie Papa, Delta 1446, sorry about that.
At the American One World livery going on.
So 2156 in the alleyway to the
Delta 2023, runway 30 left, line for wait.
Line up and wait, Delta 2023.
Delta 2166, runway 30 right, taxi via Delta Papa.
Delta Papa to the right, 36.
Parking brake is set. Landing lights on. Strobes
Delta
on.
2023, wind 28015, gust 20, fly heading 260, runway 30 left, clear for takeoff.
260 heading runway 30 left, clear for takeoff, Delta 2023.
American 1418, contact departure 133.4. Have a great flight.
Departure 133.4, American 1418.
We be rolling. $80 knots, check. V2, rotate, positive red, climb, gear coming up. Did I not turn the... Oh, okay. Turn on the autopilot. How about that?
Delta 2023, contact departure 133.4. Have a great flight.
All right. 133.4 for Delta 2023. See ya.
Southwest 3757, expect ILS runway, or correction, expect visual approach runway 30 left. At Southwest 3757, clear direct to ABES and descend to maintain 7,000.
Direct to ABES 7,000.
Minneapolis Center, Delta 2023 with you on a 260 heading, passing through 6,600 for 7,000.
Delta 2023, Minneapolis Center, radar contact, turn left heading 170 and climb and maintain flight level 350.
Left 170 and continue up to 350, Delta 2023.
WestJet 270, Cleveland Center, closed radar service terminated, frequency change approved. WestJet 270, radar service terminated, frequency change approved.
Thanks for ATC.
And for Delta 2023, what was that heading once again, please?
Delta 2023, turn left heading of looks like a 150 now, 150.
150, Delta 2023. All right.
Charlie Fox, Tango Hotel Charlie, descend to maintain 4,000.
Maintain 4,000, Trinity, Foxtrot Hotel, Tango Hotel Southern.
American 1418, clear direct Doctor.
Clear direct Doctor, American 1418.
Delta 2023, clear direct Zumbro.
Direct Zumbro, Delta 2023.
Endeavor 5958, correction, Endeavor 5058, clear direct Killer, and descend via the Killer 3, arrival runway 30 left, transition Minneapolis, altimeter 3006.
Director Killer, sent by the Clear 3 arrival. I'd like to request runway 30 right to table.
Yeah, I have your
VNAV
request,
engaged.
30 left transition, but you can expect 30 right.
Roger. We have seen Killer, expect the visual runway 30 left under the Clear 3 arrival, and level 52.
Delta 165.
Yeah, I like
Alpha
that. Was
to the
pretty
gate.
good.
Charlie Fox Tango Hotel Charlie, descend to maintain 3,000.
3,000 feet, Charlie Fox Tango Hotel Charlie.
All right, Bennett, you have a great night, my friend. And we will see you later. Congrats again on the VATSIM
Endeavor 5332,
job.
Minneapolis Center, clear direct Raz, and climb and maintain flight level 220.
Can't wait to hear you in the air. Chicago, Chicago.
Passing 3,800.
Delta 2166, Minneapolis Center, radar contact, climb and maintain flight level 370.
Up to 370 to the 2166.
Air Canada 1745, cross Shea at and maintain flight level 320.
Above 10,000 feet, landing lights all coming off.
And maintain 320 for good luck.
Metro 8021, connect Chicago Center 125.57.
125.57 for Metro 8021.
Piedmont 241, clear direct Del
Yeah,
Z,
it
cross
was, you
Del Z
know,
at and
I
maintain
felt bad, and it's
7000 Minneapolis
embarrassing that it
altimeter
happened, but
is,
talking to other live
3006.
streamers, like Mickety Mike, I believe he said that he had some issues with sim crashing before, and a couple of other people also mentioned it, so I don't feel so bad that it happened, but I'm glad that I got the autosave fixed, so it, you know, so I can just go back, you know, go back where I started from.
Radar contact 20 miles west of Lincoln, clear direct Hanksville.
Direct Hanksville, we were having crew drinks as we were done.
Delta 2166, clear direct Colt.
Clear direct Colt, 2166.
Jungle 57, taxi to parking, good day. Piedmont 241,
Okay,
did you
after
copy
takeoff
direct Del Z,
checklist,
cross
engine
Del Z 7000?
bleeds on, packs auto, landing gear up and off, flaps are up, no lights. After takeoff checklist is complete.
12345, climbing flight 400 for 410, we're west of Limonidior.
Honda Jet 12345, Minneapolis Center, roger, and your radar contact, descend and maintain flight level 240.
Flight level 240, Honda Jet 12345.
November 1143, you were given direct Menominee Airport, where are we going?
Yeah, unfortunately it is, and you know, it kind of sucks as a,
I guess I haven't got it figured out
you know, as a content creator that stuff like that does happen, so, you know, it's just, I guess, one of those things that
Yes, sir, copy that.
you have to contend with, and, you know, hey, you know.
Flight 735, Minneapolis Center, clear direct.
All right, above 18,000 feet, altimeter's going to standard. But I'm not going to cry about it. I found a way to resolve it by getting the FSUI PC autosave fixed without it further messing up the flight experience, and you know, we're saving flights and we are happy. Matter of fact, let me go in and double check that we are indeed. Today is the 27th, and our last autosave was 2 minutes ago, so saving every 5 minutes.
Number 2, runway Foxtrot, roger. Southwest 3757, descend and maintain 4,000. Southwest 3757, descend and maintain 4,000. Air Canada 1745, descend via Muscle 3 arrival 30 right, Minneapolis altimeter 3006.
Descend via the Muscle 3 arrival, expected runway 30 left for Air Canada 1745.
Negative, expect 30 right, 30 right transition.
Sorry about that.
Keep an eye on that center fuel tank. We've got about
Delta 302 Cleveland Center closed, frequency change approved.
Frequency approved, 302, have a good night.
4.5 tons left in the center.
1643, descend and maintain
Make sure to shut the pumps off when we get a little lower.
10,000. Airbus 1143, Minneapolis.
Go ahead, Minneapolis. I'm trying to get turned around right now.
Okay, Airbus 1143, turn left, heading 360, direct Menominee Airport when able, descend and maintain 10,000, 10,000.
10,000, heading 3. Can you repeat the heading, please?
Number 1143, heading 360, due north when able, direct the airport.
Heading 360.
Pass it through 23.6 for 350.
Direct to the airport, Airbus November 1143.
I love
Negative,
chase plane.
Maintain 10,000, 10,000.
I'm hoping that Because the other day when we crashed the sim, we were marveling at the animated pilot and co-pilot in the cockpit of the PMDG 737, and I wonder if I had the outside view on a little bit too long.
12557, Honda 12345.
And that may have caused the crash.
090.
At least we hope that's not the case.
Southwest 3757, airport's 2 o'clock, or 1 o'clock and 14 miles.
And cloud still on site,
Southwest 3757, cross ABES 4000, cleared ILS 30 left approach.
ABES 4000, cleared ILS 30 left approach.
Delta 1446, yep.
We're here for Delta 1446.
Delta 1446, Minneapolis Center, affirmative. Radar contact, turn right heading 050, climb and maintain flight level 370.
And I absolutely love the different views that you can do in
Delta 1446.
Delta 1446, roger.
Chase plane.
Definitely
worth the
030, advise Fargo Airport 11 o'clock and 13 miles.
Definitely worth the money
030 will call
for that, and to be able to arrange all of my cockpit views as well in the virtual cockpit. Since the PMDG does not come with a 2D, I have to fly in 3, which is perfectly fine because I've been practicing it for so long now.
RAS, Romeo Alpha Zulu Zulu.
AFM, RAS, Romeo Alpha Zulu Zulu, Endeavour 5332.
Station number 0 Foxtrot, running short of runway 30 left at Whiskey 2.
Number 2 Romeo Foxtrot, okay. Go full length unless you're given that intersection next time. Runway 30 left, fly runway heading, clear for takeoff.
Runway heading, clear for takeoff. That's the dish 0 on Fox.
Number 1143, descend and maintain 6,000. Advise when you have the automated weather at Menominee.
Going to 6,000, Airbus November 1143, will advise.
Charlie Fox, Tango Hotel, Charlie, DC the airport.
Tango Hotel, Charlie, visual with Fargo.
Charlie Foxtrot, Tango Hotel, Charlie, cleared visual approach, runway 36.
Cleared visual 36, Tango Hotel, Charlie.
JetBlue 603, leaving the airspace, Salt Lake Center closed, frequency change approved.
Yeah, it'd be Mach 0.77 for the flight down to Atlanta. So my ACARS, oh, now the ACARS is working. Go ahead and
number 320 November Echo, cleared to Sioux Falls Airport as filed, climb and maintain flight level 230,
going
squawk
to
5251. And,
wait until we approximately get to the point where the sim crashed, and that was I totally forgot where. I can have my ACARS automatically place the aircraft where it needs to be, but I don't want to freak out air traffic control by doing that. So we'll kind of guesstimate. We had so we were an hour and 15 minutes into the flight.
Endeavor 50,
so we'll try to remember that.
Actually, hang on, I'll get an ATIS up and I'll get right back to you.
You know what I hear? This is what I'll do. I'll go to YouTube, look at the flight from the other day.
Southwest 3757, runway 30 left, go to land.
And this was, okay, Portland,
Number 2 Romeo Foxtrot, turn left heading
to
260, radar contact, say altitude.
Okay.
That's at 260, we're 3,000, climbing 10,000.
Number 2 Romeo Foxtrot, roger, turn left heading 180.
Left heading 180, 0 Fox.
That's 2 Romeo Foxtrot, climb maintain flight level 310, that'll be your final to midway.
310 is the final, Southwest, Chase 0 Fox.
Delta 1446, go direct to Colt.
We were
Direct Colt Delta 14.
7 nautical miles from PLESS when the sim crashed.
Minneapolis Center United
So,
445.
remind me.
Minneapolis, confirm whether or not pushes at our own discretion.
7 nautical miles.
Since you called, I'll just give it to you here. Push approved, expect 30 left.
Push approved, expect 30 left, United 445.
And remind myself to turn my ACARS back on to record the other half of the flight so I can get credit for it.
American 1418, contact Chicago Center 125.57.
There we go, alright.
125.57, American 14.
So we got,
Delta 2624, Chicago, or correction, Denver Center closed, Denver's closed, frequency change approved, good day.
let's see, 60, 100, 2, 365, 400,
United 110234F.
United 1102 Minneapolis.
430 nautical miles to go, and then we'll,
FlexJet 735, contact Chicago Center 125.57.
and we'll, yeah, 7 miles from PLESS. Turn my ACARS back on. Oh my God. That's fun, and I wrote it down, and and if you're here long enough, Frank, I'm gonna count on you to tell me too.
Airbus 320 November Echo, runway 31, taxi at pilot's
Passing through
discretion, advise
33
number
for
1 departure.
350. Our fuel tank's down to about 3.2 tons. And what happened? Whoa, okay. And the simulator crashed. Okay. All right, what happened? And it was the terrain DLL again, which could be, it could be a variety of things, and I'm not going to worry about that. So see, we have autosave for a reason. Oh, I know, whatever, another SOD process is in the background. So all right, I need to hold on, I need to exit out of here for a quick second. I'm really starting to wonder, okay, so it's the terrain DLL again, and I'm wondering if it is an issue, because I've had this happen before where the sim crashed, and it was because of model matching, and I don't know if that's necessarily the cause. So I remember flying a flight. And it was back when I was still doing FSX, and it was from see, there we go. FS autosave, boom. I can't remember if it was Minneapolis to Atlanta or Detroit, and I passed through, and something in the something with the model matching, and model matching is part of the terrain DLL kind of whatever, and I don't know if that had anything to do. I mean, it's possible. I hope not. I did reboot the computer before I started the live stream, so the computer's not been running for that long. But we'll find out. But anyways, not going to fret about it. We'll just crank the sim back up and pick right back up where we left off. Ta-da! Back in the cockpit. And gotta restart chase plane. All right. Back there. And go back on to vPilot, connect. Mode C, reconnecting back to the voice.
Didn't want to bug you with it.
Okay, well, turn left heading 290, we can get you to Menominee, so let's do that.
Turn left heading 290, Airbus November 1143.
Endeavor 5058, descend to maintain 4,000, and turn left heading 250, vector to final approach course. Endeavor 5058, heading 250, vectors 30 right, descend to maintain 4,000.
Maintain 4,000, heading 250, plus vector to final approach, Endeavor 5058.
United 531, contact Chicago Center 125.57, good night.
What's the flight 157 there?
See ya.
And Minneapolis Center, Delta 2023 is back up with you after a sim crash.
Okay, at number 1 at departure at Minot, standby 1, and Delta 2023, okay, squawk altitude, please.
And setting a flash, and we're level at 350 for Delta 2023.
Delta 2023, thanks. See the ident, radar contact 5 east to Nodine, and the altitude checks, thank you.
Nope, this is Prepared version 5.4 from Lockheed Martin for answering to Frack, who asked if this is a modded MS flight sim, and no, it is not.
Minneapolis Center, Southwest 2614, on the ground at Minneapolis, taxiway Delta, requesting taxi.
Southwest 2614, information Tango's current runway 30 left, taxi via Whiskey, correction, Delta Whiskey.
We got Tango, taxi runway 30 left via Delta and Whiskey for Southwest 2614.
Remember, 1143, 4,000's as low as I can get you. Just let me know when you see Menominee Airport on that heading, I guess, 1 o'clock and 10 miles.
All right, I'll continue the heading and altitude and let you know when I have the airport.
All right, level at 350.
Remember, 1143, yeah, should be about 1230 and about 6 miles now.
Copy that, thanks, Center.
Pressurization check, center fuel tanks check, cross feed is on. And for our cruise, it'll be Mach 0.77.
Delta 2166, contact Chicago Center 120.35.
120.35.
So like I said, sim crashes happen, and I'm not going to freak out so bad now that I've got the, since I have the autosave feature fixed.
Maintain 7,000.
Plus 240 and then maintain 10,000 again from 240.
Air Canada 1745, expect ILS runway 30 right approach.
Expect the ILS for 30 right approach, Canada 1745.
Minneapolis Center, United 445, ready for taxi.
United 445, runway 30 left, taxi via Alpha.
Taxi via Alpha, United 445.
Endeavor 5058, turn right heading 270, intercept runway 30 left localizer, maintain 210 knots or greater till advised.
Lockheed Martin bought the rights to
heading 270 to join the localizer for Endeavor 5058
to take and modify
210 knots or greater till
Flight
advised.
Simulator 2006, better known as FSX, and use it as a training tool, and then made it available to the public for a license fee. So it's basically a kind of souped up version of FSX.
Endeavor 5058, intercept 30 right, localizer 30 right.
And it's been recoded to be a 64-bit program as opposed to a 32-bit that FSX and FSX Steam Edition were.
If you low down to 5,000, P1241.
So with a 64-bit program, the flight simulator is able to utilize all of the VRAM that your graphics card has.
Center radar contact. Who else called? Who else called?
It wasn't me, but Southwest 540 request.
FSX was 16-bit locked to only being able to use 2 gigabytes of VRAM
and standby.
back in the day, which made it very difficult to have good add-ons.
Connect Chicago Center 125.57.
25.57 for Delta 2023. See ya.
Number 1143, radar contact lost.
25.
Information Tango on the ground, Minneapolis, or did push and start.
Delta 1924, Minneapolis Center push.
Chicago Center, good evening, Delta 2023, flight level 350.
So it's on the 644 heavy with you at level 392.
Oh, 575. Oops.
3rd Des Moines, file 390 for now, Southwest 540.
Sedation, November, Terra 52023, did I miss your check-in?
Chicago Center, good evening, Delta 2023 with you, flight level 350.
Delta 2023, Chicago Center, Roger.
Yeah, I did not know that either, and I actually learned that it was one of the decisions that made me eventually change over to Prepared when I was looking for a new flight sim. It was either going to be between X-Plane or Prepared, and Prepared seemed to be the way to go. It got the most votes on my thread on AvSim. So
735, let me know when you have information Delta and expect a visual approach runway 31.
We'll let you know when you have Delta and I expect a visual 31. That's what you think you're going.
But yeah, definitely one of the first things that I learned was that, and you know, it wasn't. I don't think it was Microsoft doing it intentionally. I think back in the day, graphics cards were not as powerful as they are today, so they just felt that, you know, putting a 2 gig VRAM limit on a program, you know, by making it 16-bit, or excuse me, 32-bit, seemed to be the way to go. And then with the advent of
the midway altimeter 3010.
more sophisticated flight sim aircraft like PMDG and Aerosoft and all that stuff, and add-on programs like GSX and some of the other popular add-ons. For those of you who still, if you, let's say, don't fly on VATSIM, but you have AI aircraft running in the background, those take up VRAM too, you know. And when you're only limited to 2 gigs allocated to a program, and you have other outside add-on programs that really task the graphics card to get a lot of crashes. So like when I was flying FSX and still using GSX, the flight sim crashed a lot, which was very frustrating in my early live stream career. But Prepared, because it's a 64-bit program, it allocates whatever it needs to the GPU. So if you hit Shift and Z, and you can see right now in the upper left-hand corner, Prepared is only using 2.9 gigs of the 7.1 allocated to it of VRAM. And I'm getting frames in the 70s and 70 to 90 varies. I've got the frame rate cap unlocked. So, but anywho, if you're just joining the live stream, welcome. My name's Michael, also known as Sky's the Limit. This is Delta 2023 service from Minneapolis to my home airport of Atlanta. Atlanta's Hartsfield-Jackson, Atlanta International Airport, and Taco Emporium. Flying the PMDG 737-800. We're flying November 399 Delta Alpha today. Sitting here at flight level 350 and Mach 7.64 for the cruise down south. Already had the sim crash once, but we're back thanks to the autosave feature in FSUI PC. I'm going to go ahead and turn off that spy, although I don't think that's really causing any problems. The computer's performance has been pretty good.
Station November 0, Foxtrot back. Good.
Definitely got some wind there. That jacked our speed nearly 30 knots. Yeah, definitely. I will agree with you there, Frank. Apologies to the passengers in the back who endured that little bump. Did my... Yeah, active sky is still... I guess active sky disconnected itself. There we go.
1035, descend up out discretion, maintain 4,000. 4,000, flex at 1035.
Chicago Center, Comanche 5 and 4 Delta Victor 3,500.
Comanche 514 Delta Victor, Chicago Center, Roger, the Dubuque altimeter 3009.
That's 3009 or 5 and 4 Delta Victor.
Alright, got a 52 knot crosswind. Right on the left nose. That's kicking us around a pretty decent bit there.
At a 531 descend via the Flight 7 arrival, the O'Hare altimeter 3008.
So anyways, to recap all the craziness that's been going on in the past week with channel and all the random weird live streams where I am seemingly flying nowhere and just goofing off. So...
Delta 2023, turn 10 degrees right, vector for traffic.
10 degrees right, vectors for traffic, Delta 2023. So again, welcome back, sir. So to recap the craziness,
Delta 2023, I show you turn left, turn 20 degrees right now.
20 degrees to the right for Delta 2023. Sorry about that. I swear to God he said left, but oh well.
Good evening, Chicago, West 132.
Anyways, I've been having performance problems with the flight simulator, and I discovered
Chicago Center, Clementine,
a few little tricks that have fixed that, and then we had a problem with the sim crashing on Saturday, and well, we haven't got the crashing resolved, because I guess that's just going to happen when you fly in a simulator, and it does happen to other live streamers. We got the FS autosave set up where it's smoothly recording all the data without messing up the simulator. So if the sim crashes again in the future, I'll just boot it up from the last save point and continue on my merry way and not get mad.
Number 2, Romeo Foxtrot, descend via the ND6 arrival, runway 22 left transition, the midway altimeter 3010.
Okay, so he has me turn right 20 degrees.
22 left transition.
And traffic's going to cross right off my nose.
Chicago Center, good evening. Walker 1108, 3000, runway heading out of east.
There's our traffic, and he's at our level.
Contact 4 miles northwest of Butte. Clementine, level 370.
Level 370, Walker 1108.
He's going to cross right in front of us here shortly. He's about
4 Delta Victor, field 12 o'clock, 10 miles, reported in sight.
I've got him. There he is, right.
5 Delta Victor, we're looking.
There.
Walker 1108, turn right, heading 090.
Right turn 090.
There he is, just off in the distance there.
Delta 2023, thanks for the help. Quadrant HITMN.
Clear direct HITMN, Delta 2023, and we did see the traffic cross at our level right to left.
Yep, got you guys like 5.5 miles.
And direct HITMN.
Good evening, Chicago Center, FedEx 777, heavy, 11 miles west of Kirksville, VOR, flight level 300 for 10,000.
FedEx 77, Chicago.
Just a little tiny speck just off the nose, and there he goes. Passing off, so LNAV back, re-engaged, direct HITMN. So anyways, to fix the performance of the flight simulator and how it utilizes the CPU cores and the processors, there's a website that I went and checked out that was recommended, and it's just basically
Oscar Bravo Kilo.
you try the different configurations and see which one works best for you, and then you copy that into the prepared config file and save it.
Descend pilots discretion, maintain
and the CPU's utilization has not gone above 40%. in God only knows how long.
Crash to 11,000, altimeter 3015, FedEx.
And it's not like I have a fancy schmancy processor. I have a 12th gen Intel i7 12700 Kilo Foxtrot is my CPU.
Now 12 o'clock and 7 miles.
I know there's a lot of good 13th gen Intel processors out there. Maybe at some point I might upgrade to something like that. But, you know, I get some consistent 4.7 gigahertz speeds out of it.
We got it right.
Number 5
So I got to go back to my Navigraph.
Rudder service terminated. Squawk VFR. Contact Dubuque Tower 119.5.
Hi, radar service terminated. Squawk and VFR. Contact Tower 1955. What up, 6?
Flexjet 735. The field will be out at 12 o'clock in 20 miles. Let me know when you have it in sight.
Inside Flexjet 735.
About another 250 nautical miles to PLESS, and then we'll go ahead and turn my A cars back on again.
Comanche. Altitude indicates 2,700. Cleared visual approach, runway 31.
Traffic inside, and we'll close the visual 31, Flexjet 735.
Air Canada 1038, contact Chicago Center 120.35.
We're center Air Canada 1038.
And good evening, Chicago Center, American 1533, 10,000 feet.
American 1533, Chicago Center, climb maintain, flight level 360.
That is the very first time in all my time on VATSIM that I've been vectored for traffic. So that's actually a first. That's the first time I've been vectored for traffic.
Flexjet 735, radar service terminated. Contact Dubuque Tower 119.5. Good day.
19.5, Flexjet 735, good night.
EPS 930, contact Minneapolis Center 133.4.
Over to 133.4 for EPS 930. Have a good night.
So we have a direct crosswind, 53 knots right on the nose. It's pushing the nose about 10 degrees to the left from our viewpoint in the cockpit. So you can see where the nose is getting pushed to the left because of the crosswind.
Out of 531, contact Chicago approach 119.0. FedEx 77, contact Des Moines approach 123.9 or 23.9.
Des Moines approach 23.9. Thanks for your help, FedEx 77. Heavy. Good night.
Delta 2023, contact Chicago Center 120.35.
2035 for Delta 2023. See ya. Okay, why are you... There we go.
Point 0, United 1663. Thanks for the help. Great work.
Chicago Center, Delta 2023, flight level 350.
Delta 2023, Chicago Center, roger.
So, for the terrain DLL...
Southwest 2687, Chicago Center, ident.
It could be a variety of things. Can check the tessellation to make sure it's not higher than what my PC can handle. They suggest deleting the terrain config file and then use Orbix Central to verify, layer, and sync all of your sceneries.
United 1663,
Could be
Chicago,
a corrupt texture. They also recommend deleting the shader cache and the scenery index DAT files.
119.0, United 2331, thanks, see you.
So it could be a variety of things. You can also make a backup of your prepared config file and just delete it and then have prepared regenerate it. You just have to reset everything, because that could be the issue as well. But I do have this app crash detector,
70 Charlie Lima, radar contact failed.
or app crash view.
970, passing 2000, going to Quadrant.
Over 0 Charlie Lima, climate maintain flight level 300.
Climate change 300, 970.
So a C 0000005 exception, which is what I've got on this error, is a memory access violation. Just says it's usually just a misbehaving add-on or possibly a corrupt data file. So unless it happens like a whole bunch, then it's not something to really be too super concerned about. But luckily, you know, I'm not gonna worry too much about it.
And center, Delta 1446, we're back in the cockpit.
Delta 1446, welcome back. United 23, exit disregard. Southwest 3466, Cleveland, center offline, radar service terminated, frequency change approved.
Going to 162.8 for Southwest 3466 tonight.
Delta 2166, to set up maintain flight level 33 trip. Delta 2023, contact Kansas City Center 125.72.
Over to Kansas City Center, 125.72. See ya.
November Otter 70 Charlie Lima, cleared to direct Kelsey.
125.725.
American 1598, Kansas City Center.
Kansas City Center, good evening, Delta 2023, flight level 350.
Delta 2023, Kansas City Center.
He is very faint. And we're just going to barely skirt his border, and then I'll get kicked over to Unicom, so... So unless Indy Center comes online or Memphis, then we're probably not going to have any more air traffic control for the trip down.
Vehicle 1849 here.
Okay, so for the approach into Atlanta, be a flaps 30 landing, 145 knots plus 10, so 155.
$72.24 here.
So I just want to give everybody a heads up that during the last week and a half of April, we will be on vacation, so there'll be no live streams or videos until we get back on the 28th. And we'll get back to a normal live stream schedule at that point.
Yeah, 1368 Kansas City Center, Andy.
Also have some other plans for the channel coming up. So I'm going to continue to live stream when I can, but I'm also going to do some short form flight videos where basically they'll still be technically full flights, but you're only going to catch maybe the first 10-15 minutes as we prep and depart, and then cruising, and then just the arrival. So there'll be shorter videos, but they'll be kind of done in that format. There's several other live streamers that I watch who, you know, live stream, you know, when they can, and then they do other videos. Oh no, not about shorts. They're still going to be 30 to 45 minute long videos, but it's just going to be basically, you know, a pre-flight, pushback, departure. And center fuel pumps coming off. So it's basically prepping the aircraft for flight, the passenger boarding, programming the FMC, the aircraft getting it ready for departure, taxiing out, departure, the climb out, and then just some beauty shots as we overfly areas of the U.S.
2023, clear direct IHAVE.
Clear direct IHAVE, Delta 2023. I wouldn't say it's a compilation. It'll still be a point A to point B type of video.
American 1533 is back.
So for instance, I'll still be like, let's say Atlanta, Minneapolis, and you'll catch the first 15 or 20 minutes of the flight as I do the pre-flight, we do the departure and the climb out. And then I'll just edit in some transition stuff of, you know, flying at flight level, looking out the airplane, looking at the scenery down below, blah, 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 and then come back for the approach and the arrival. And there'll still be dialogue from me and dialogue if we happen to have ATC. But I'm still going to be live streaming. There'll still be plenty of live streams where we can all get together and chat and have fun and gik yak around. But you know, so instead of having to sit through a 4.5 hour live stream of Atlanta to Los Angeles, it's just going to be condensed down to like 45 minutes for a video. And it won't be live. It's kind of basically what it's doing. And there's a lot of live streamers who indeed do that and also still do their usual live streams. So the live streams are not ending. I'm still doing those. I'm just going to add some additional content by just, you know, filming and editing together other videos, and they're not going to be just Delta. So I've downloaded some Southwest liveries and FedEx and Alaska, because I'm really digging the PMDG 737, and I'm likely going to go ahead and bite the bullet and get the 777 as well, and just download a whole bunch of libraries and just do different flights for different airlines. And I've got some other ideas on some stuff that I want to do also. I just have to make the time and get motivated enough to do it. Yeah, they are, but they're not my creative ideas. It's just looking at other YouTubers who do content and seeing what they do. You know, I'll save the live streams for the longer flights that are, you know, a couple of hours or whatnot, so we can, you know, get together, talk, have fun. And just go from there. So jumping back down to the FMC, got our first constraint, which is going to be crossing chipper at 13,000.
2023, change per today.
All right, heading over to the dark side. Delta 2023, see ya. All right, over to Uticom. And we already got somebody else's bull crap, so... All right. Back over to the dark side. I wish they had cookies there. And now that we're over to Unicom, I'm going to go ahead and check on the wife real quick. Grab me a cold beverage, and I will be right back in a moment. See you in a few, guys. All right, we're back on the flight deck. Have my nice cold beverage. Turn chase plane back on. Let's see, how far are we from PLESS? Say about another 40 nautical miles, and then we'll turn our ACARS back on. So I'll make sure that active sky was still giving us some weather. And it is. So what's cool about active sky is I can do a weather request, and I can get the current active weather, get the closest station, get a winds aloft report. Get the closest weather station. Which is really, really cool. And I think we're close enough to PLESS where we'll go ahead and resume the flight. So we've got our ACARS back on. So we're good to go there. Ginger ale is my beverage of choice. I'm not really super big on alcohol, believe it or not. Back when I was in the Air Force, yes, big time drinking, because that's what military folks do, is they drink and get schnockered when they're not on duty. And I love beer, but beer just kind of really sits heavy on my stomach. No, did not, was not a pilot, and I'll tell you a story behind that. So, from the time that I was a little kid, I loved space exploration, aviation, anything with wings and engines and rockets and stuff, I was into it. Joined the Air Force right out of high school. Matter of fact, I hadn't even graduated yet when I enlisted, but I had to wait to go to basic training until I technically turned 18. So I was still 17 when I graduated from high school. I had to wait until the following February after graduating in 1980 and went into basic training. But I wanted to be a pilot, but pilots back during the time that I enlisted had to have 20/20 uncorrected. So because I'm a four-eyed wonder boy, I could not be a pilot. And then 2 years after I enlisted, they changed it. So people with glasses could be pilots, but it was already too late. So I was a KC-135 crew chief. So the KC-135s are the aerial refueling tankers. So I was a crew chief for on those. And did that for 6 years and got out. And the only reason that I got out early, and I kind of kicked myself in the butt all these years later. So I'm from Michigan originally, a little town called Traverse City, if anybody is familiar with Michigan and where Traverse City is. So the Air Force in their right mind thought it would be a cool idea to take this transplanted Southerner, because we moved to Georgia from Michigan when I was young. And so the Air Force thought, oh, it'll be cool to take him out of Georgia and send him back up to Michigan. And not only back up to Michigan, we'll send him up to the upper peninsula of Michigan, where it's even colder than where he was born and raised. So I wound up at a little base called K.I. Sawyer Air Force Base, which is about 20 miles south of Marquette, Michigan, in the Upper Peninsula, right off of Lake Superior. And I won't talk about the reasons why there's a twofold reason why I joined the military. Number one, because I wanted to be around airplanes. Number two, the second reason I'm not going to get into because it's more personal. And it's kind of water under the bridge at this point. So let's just say when I went to go talk to the recruiter, I said, what are my options for enlisting? How long can I enlist for? And the recruiter said, well, you can go for 4 years or you can enlist for 6 years initially. And before he could even get 6 years out of his mouth, I said, I'm going to sign up for 6. And we'll leave it at that. So I did 6 years in the military. When it came up, when I came up for re-enlistment on the 5th year of my 6 years, I put in my requests like all airmen do to, what is your particular, what bases do you want to go to? And I really wanted to start traveling the world, even though I'd already been doing that as a crew chief. I've been all over this planet, but I actually wanted to live in another country. And in the Air Force's infinite wisdom, they thought, nah, we're just going to keep you here at the second most miserable Air Force base on the northern frontier, and we're just going to keep you right where you are. And I said, well, if you're going to do that, then I'm not going to re-enlist. So I got out, and I kind of kicked myself in the butt now because only 2 years later, they closed the base down as part of the military restructuring that went on in the late 80s, early 90s. And K.I. Sawyer was one of the bases that was slated to be closed. And in retrospect, if I had known that ahead of time, I would have stuck with it for the couple of years and could have possibly wound up someplace else. Well, definitely would have wound up someplace else. Just don't know where, but it would have been nice to, you know, be stationed overseas somewhere. So I basically got out of I made a clean break from the Air Force, and that's really one of the few regrets that I have, was not sticking it out for that entire time. And I probably should have. And you know, I hate that happened that way, but you know, that's the way the cookie crumbles. You know, and I'm not going to say I had a very boring career after getting out of the military, because I didn't. I went into the medical field. For nearly 20 some odd years. And had an absolute ball doing that. I worked for a medical paging company that was based here in Atlanta. It was what I did right after I got out of the Air Force. And then became a supervisor and a trainer. And then, as luck would have it, I kind of caught wind through a little birdie whispering in my ear that the business was going to relocate to another state. And at that point, I didn't want to leave Georgia again. I wanted to kind of stay put, so I actually got a job with one of the doctor's offices that we did medical paging for, and it was an oncology outfit. And I worked on the clinical side, doing patient support. And then the rest of my time there, I was on the administrative side and did a lot of IT stuff, designed the company's intranet, and did a little bit of initial early app development for the doctors. They were just kind of about the last 3 or 4 years that I was working there, the iPhones really started getting popular, so smartphones were just coming out. And we had all sorts of documentation that we felt would be a lot easier if you were able to compact it down and put it into an app. So in oncology, and for those who don't know what oncology and hematology are, it's basically cancer and blood disorders. So our particular practice has this huge thing called a protocol book. And it's just basically all the protocols that they use to treat all the different forms of cancer, blood disorders, depending on what their depending what the stages are and stuff like that. If it's a certain stage, you treat it a certain way. If it's a different stage, you treat it a different way. And it's all in this protocol book, and it's just a big, huge manual that you literally had to manually kind of reference and carry around or have easy access to. And I thought, wow, wouldn't it be a good idea to have this in a format where you could just simply access it from an app? So I took our company's protocol books and got all the data copied out of them, which basically was scanning a lot of pages of typewritten stuff, because these are literally books, scanning these pages into our medical records system, where it converted those pages into actual text that I could format and throw into a protocol app, and then installed it on all the doctors' phones, and then lo and behold, they can access the protocol book right there from their iPhone. And we're talking the iPhone 4s and 5s. That kind of tells you how far back that goes. But they were able to access the protocol book. So, yeah, basically just kind of like what I'm doing with the Delta routes. I pull the data off the PDF files, throw it into Excel, run a whole bunch of macros that sort it all, and change the arrival and departure times to 24-hour format, and also takes the the number of days that a particular flight runs, whether it's all 7 days or maybe just a couple days, and converts that into a format that we upload on our server at AirSource. And all of the director level people who do the flight, who manage to compile all the flight plans, all do that. So yeah, it's very similar. And Frank asks, what year did I join the Air Force? I joined the Air Force in 1983, which was the year that I graduated from high school. But I did not actually go to basic training until February of '84, because when I enlisted during the summer of... Actually, I enlisted in the Air Force in the spring of 1983. I was still 17. And my mom technically had to sign my life away to be able to join the military. And then I graduated in June of '83, and then I had the whole rest of the year, and then January and part of February before I had to report for basic. So I had about 6-7 months to screw around and sow my oats. So enlisted in '83 and actually went into basic in '84. All right, my friend, you have a great night. Get some sleep, and we will see you again real soon, Bennett. Take care, brother. So yeah. So I did 6 years. So I was in from '84 to 1990. And then worked in medical paging for, medical paging I worked from 1990. I took a little bit of a break after I got out of the military to kind of reacclimate with society. Went to the medical paging company in '92. And got my job with the oncology practice in 1999. All right, brother, we'll see you back in a second. And then from 1990, Yeah, 1999 to 2008 worked in the oncology practice. And then I met my current flame, and we've been together for nearly 14 years, and did Uber and Lyft for a number of years. Oh, that was fun. Asked me some questions about that, and then became my spouse's caregiver. So okay, so dumping back over to the FMC. We're about 66 nautical miles from HITMN. We need to be at, our first constraint is going to be at Chipper, and that is 13,000. So we're going to go ahead and go over to the autopilot. We're going to tune 13,000 in. So when we hit our top of descent, the LNAV and VNAV will automatically ride everything down. No way I said what. I totally forgot what I said, so remind me, what did I say? Did I say have fun brushing your teeth? Because that's not beyond me saying. We're a little under 80 nautical miles from our top of descent. So we'll go ahead and let's go ahead and check our weather in Atlanta. And the current weather at Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport and Taco Emporium. Winds are 310 at 9 knots, 16 kilometers visibility, which is about 10 miles. Temperature 16 degrees Celsius, dew point 5. Clouds scattered at transition altitude 18,000 feet. Forecast for later tonight will basically be the same, except winds will be 320. The clouds will drop down to 15,000 and broken, and that'll be from about 10 to 2 a.m. And we're going to be going in on the ILS 26 right this afternoon, so currently winds are 310 at 9. Altimeter is 299er5 26 right, and it's 110.1 for the ILS. Okay, so, all right. pressurization. Okay, landing altitude's going to be 1,050 feet. Pressurization checked. ATIS weather information checked. Landing altitude is checked. Landing data, it's going to be a flaps 30 landing, so 145 knots plus 10 for the wind factor. ILS frequency 110.1 is set. Auto brake is set. Radio and barometer minimums. Set for, let's see, what's our landing elevation at the time of touchdown is 1,140 feet. Ooh, excuse me. Nope, elevation 990, so that's set. Set it for 1,000. Okay, radio barometer minimums are set. Nav radios MCP are set. Top of descent checklist is complete. Starting to pick up those patchy clouds below us. And we should be landing with about 12,500 pounds of fuel left. So about 6 tons of fuel remaining. Still a bit of a stiff crosswind. Now it's 107 knot crosswind right on the right nose of the aircraft. So Frank, you still haven't answered my question. What? No, you said no way I said that, and I asked what was it that I said, because I honestly don't remember. Welcome back, sir. So I was just asking what was it that I said, because you said no way I said something, and I don't remember what I said. So refresh my memory. What was it that I said? And about 20 nautical miles from our top of descent. And let me go ahead and see, .CTAF, KATL. And 1910 is the CTAF for Atlanta.
Hi, sir.
So what I learned about the autopilot in the 737, oh, I was trying to remember. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was working for the medical paging company, and then I went over to the oncology practice and then met the wifey. No, I wasn't implying anything, but believe it or not, I met wifey in college. So, I went back to college to attempt to get my associate's degree and met Rebecca, my better half, on the first day of fall semester at our English Comp 2 class. And we hit it off pretty quick. And then I had to go back up to Michigan for a short period of time. And after that, I came back down to Georgia, and Rebecca and I had been dating for a little while. And we've been together ever since. And starting down. And speak of the devil, hello my love, wifey has entered the chat. So really funny story about the first day that wifey and I met. So it was the first day of fall semester. I forgot what year it was. We both were in English Comp 2, and I, as I usually always did way back in the past, was usually early for everything. So I got the class early, and Rebecca happened to be the second one to arrive, and she came hauling ass around the corner. Now, mind you, wifey is disabled, so she's in a, so she's wheelchair bound, but she had a motorized wheelchair that hauled ass, and she came hauling ass around the corner in the building where our English Comp 2 class was, and I took one look at her and just, it was love at first sight. And I think I said, hey gorgeous, or hey beautiful, or something like that to her. And we hit it off really well, and we kept in touch. And after I had to drop out of college to go back up to Michigan to help my mom out a little bit, and some other things that I won't get into, wifey and I kept in touch, and I came down to Atlanta several times when we went out on dates, and I drove Rebecca up to Michigan to come hang out with me and flew her up to Michigan one time. And we've been inseparable ever since then. All right, we are descending via the Chipper 1 RNAV arrival. Our first altitude constraint is going to be at Chipper, and it's going to be 13,000 feet, and then our next constraint will be at Zelo. We need to be down at 2.5, and then we should intercept the ILS prior to AJ, which is a 5-mile final to 26 right. So that's our plan. And in the event of a go around, in the event of a misapproach or go around, we'll climb to 1800 initially. That'll be a climbing right turn to 4000 inbound on the Rome, Georgia VOR. And then we'll go to the Dallas intersection and hold there. And then come back in for another run. Descent checklist, pressurization, landing altitudes is going to be 1,000 feet. Recall is checked, auto brake is set. Landing data VREFs, we're going to be a 30, or flaps 30 landing, so 145 knots plus 10 for 155. Just did the approach brief. And altimeters will check the weather one last time before we drop down below 18,000, but descent checklist is complete. Current ABIS is still active for Atlanta. Passing through 27,000 for 13. I have never been to JFK. Never, 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 ever. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and set the altitude for 4,000 because that'll be our last restriction on the way down. That way the autopilot can follow everything down good. Yeah, there's a lot of taxiways in Atlanta, and it can be daunting taxiing around, but the thing that you got to remember is when you're in Atlanta, it is always taxiway Mike if you're departing from the south side of the airport. If you're going off of 9 left or 27 right, it's taxiway Mike from whatever ramp you're on. And when you arrive into Atlanta if it's on the south side, 27 left or 9 right, then you're going to be on Lima to the ramp. And then if you're departing north, it's going to be initially Foxtrot and then Echo, going up to 26 left or 8 right. And if you're arriving, it's basically Echo and then over to the ramp. So they have 2 parallel taxiways that run the full length of the longer runways. So basically the outer one is for the one furthest away from the concourses is the one for departures. The closer one is for your arrivals, and that's kind of how they keep everybody separate. So, and here in Atlanta, we have the end runner. We have the end taxiways. We got taxiway Victor, which so there's no holdup on departing traffic on 26 left or 8 right. So traffic just goes around the approach end of 8 right. So that's taxiway Victor, and then taxiway Whiskey is the taxiway that goes around the end of 9 left and serves the same purpose. Though my scenery has my Hartsfield scenery has Victor taxiway, but does not have Whiskey. But I've never been to JFK. But I heard that EWR is the worst of the 3 New York metro airports. I have flown into DCA. This is actual flying, not flight sim flying. But I've not okay, if you're flying it like real world flying, like actual flying, pack your bags and go on a trip flying, I hear that EWR is just But as far as flight sim flying goes, I don't know. I've never flown into any of the 3 big airports in New York or Boston. The furthest I've gone up the East Coast is DCA. Oh, and then that one flight into Pennsylvania that I did with Owls on his flight. All right, passing through 19,000 for 13. on the way down into Atlanta. And down below 18,000 feet. And updated 12 minutes ago. Winds are still 320 at 9. Temperature 16 degrees Celsius, dew point 4. Still 10 nautical miles visibility, scattered at 18,000 feet, so literally really no change to the airport info for Atlanta, other than the altimeter is 2999 instead of 2997. It's like Boston, any of the New York airports, Los Angeles, Vegas, Seattle, and San Francisco are like the busiest airports on VATSIM USA or on VAT USA. A little bit of drag required, like how the FMS tells you that you need a little bit of drag to slow your butt down. The PMDG dash the dash 800 for the 737 conforms to speed restrictions pretty well, but the 900 is like a slippery. I can't even get slippery out of my mouth. It's a slippery little aircraft, and you have to induce drag all the time on the descent. And we are crossing Chipper at 13,000 feet. But I've enjoyed flying. This is my first live stream. Well, no, actually, technically my second live stream in the 800 for PMDG. Yeah, absolutely. And we'll go ahead and switch over to CTAF. I just, you know, I was so used to flying all those old Posky aircraft in their 2D panels, and yeah, I have the Quality Wing 757, and I'll start doing some flights on that as soon as I write a checklist for it. But over the past couple weeks, playing around with the PMDG and making my own custom checklist to follow that's nearly real life and the whole 9 yards, it's been fun to fly this plane. It has been a lot of fun. And here's our missed approach and go around pattern right here. So we come in here and hit the Dallas fix and then go into a hold right there should we have a missed approach. Oh wait, actually I wanted to... Oh, okay. Already got that up, so... Yeah, we'll go ahead and turn on the landing lights. Anti-ice not required. Center fuel tanks are off because they're empty. Crossfeed is open. Engine selectors to continuous. Passenger no smoking signs are on. Approach checklist. Pressurization set for 1,000 feet. Recall checked. Auto brake set. Landing data VREFs. Got our minimums. Flaps 30 landing 145 knots plus 10 for the wind component. Already done our approach briefing. Altimeter is set to 9er. Descent checklist is complete. Oh, awesome, Frank. I really appreciate that. And I've got the airport in sight. Off the nose. About 15 miles out. Atlanta traffic, Delta 2023 is about to enter the downwind for the ILS runway 26 right approach. Atlanta traffic. Yeah, there's a couple of other videos from more popular flight sim live streamers out there that have definitely gotten more traffic than my lowly video, but and we're entering the downwind. Put in 1 notch of flaps. Yes. Me too. Little view of Hartsfield off there off the right wing. Yeah, I know wifey's probably getting tired too, so get her ready for bed after we're on the ground and at the gate. You know, I should do here. Let's do. Let's see, that's not right. No, let's reset that. Yeah, there we go. And then let's zoom out the window. Set that as a new view.
Now traffic experience 600 picking off 26 left RIM path. Ladder traffic.
Need the engine anti-ice because we're above 10 degrees Celsius. Go ahead and shut that off. Now, me personally, I like, so just like in real life Atlanta ops, I like a long downwind. When we have air traffic control online in Atlanta, right before I am abeam to Haines, they're already turning me on the base turn, and sometimes I'm just not able to be at the right altitude, and then I just wind up botching the landing. So I personally like a long downwind. So there. Yeah. So usually right around in here between Bamboo and Haines, that's where they like to start to turn me. But in real life, when I go down plane spotting, because there's, you know, because of course there's a ton of traffic, so, you know, it's always a long downwind.
Nashville traffic, Blue Street 5588, join at ILS 35. We're 5 miles out. Nashville traffic. Correction, we are 10 miles out. Nashville traffic.
Atlanta traffic, Delta 2023, turning right base, runway 26 right, approach Atlanta traffic.
And the aircraft at Asheville, it looks like their CTAP should be 121.1. You're on 19.1 on that one.
Yeah, I realized I typed in Atlanta instead of Asheville when I was looking up the CTAP. Sorry about that.
No worries.
speed brake armed. All right, localizer captured. About 15 miles out from the field. Atlanta traffic Delta 2023 10-mile final ILS 26 right approach. Atlanta traffic. Got the field in sight. I probably could be going a little bit faster because it's usually, if we got ATC online for Atlanta, it's usually maintain 180 to AJ. But traffic is not a factor today, so... All right, localizer and glide slope are captured. Landing checklist. Engine start switches auto, continuous, speed brakes armed, landing lights on, landing gear down and locked. We are on the glide slope and the localizer. Landing checklist is complete. Speeds are set. VREF 145 plus 10 for 155. Flaps 30 is set and indicated. Atlanta traffic Delta 2023 over AJ, 5 mile final, ILS runway 26 right, Atlanta traffic. Slight crosswind off the nose, only 9 knots. Not affecting things too greatly. At our approach speed, Atlanta traffic Delta 2023 short final, ILS runway 26 right, Atlanta traffic. That's a little bit of a floater. 60 knots. Atlanta traffic Delta 2023 clear at the active at Bravo 3 and taxiing via the Victor Loop to the gate. Atlanta traffic. Let's go ahead and stop here real quick. All right. Oh. Okay, I see what we've got here. Hot brakes. I've heard about this. Okay, hold on. Let's see. Menu. FS actions. Ground operations. No, that's not it. cool the brakes. You have to go back and... Alright, so what do you... Alright, so what do you... Okay. Alright, you PMDG 737 experts. So you just replace the brakes, cool the brakes, do something with the brakes. Alright, somebody who's a PMDG person, explain to me what happens when the plane doesn't want to taxi. Well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do what I did the last time. I'm just going to look for suitable parking. I'm going over to the A gates. I'll go over to A4 and just warp me there. Ta-da! Guess what? We're at the gate. I don't know. It looks like the brakes were overheated, but I don't know if you're supposed to wait. Before you can start taxiing again? I don't know. I'm going to have to... Yeah, never mind now. I just went ahead and just warped over to the gate. No big deal. I need to check on that, because that's the second time that because when I was messing around in the sim the last time, it did that. Well, no, you go into the FMC and go to the menu and go to FS Actions and go to Ground Maintenance. And then second page, it's like cool brakes or replace brakes or something like that. I'll have to double check. So it's like the ground maintenance stuff that you do for whatever. So that's it's really weird. We'll go ahead and shut the engines off. And connect ground power. Shut off the APU. Those are coming off. Logo light off. That's supposed to be steady anti-collision off. Seatbelt signs are off. All right, Frank, you have a great one. Get some sleep. We'll see you on the next video. Okay, shutdown checklist. Parking brakes set, electrical, we're on external power, start levers are cut off, auto brake switches off, window heat off, anti-ice off, hydraulic pumps off, passenger no smoking signs off, Anti-collision lights, runway turn off, fuel pump switches all off. Air conditioning packs are auto. Isolation valve is open. Engine bleeds are on. Shutdown checklist is complete. And go ahead and turn off the weather. Go ahead and disconnect from VATSIM. Turn off my ACARS. Light is complete. I'm going to go ahead and PIREP. And need to go to SimBrief again. Get my flight plan. FPV 737-800. VATSIM and NEWBB. PIREP. Let's see. Got 55.9 hours to my next pilot's promotion. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Atlanta. And that is going to do it for the live stream. Despite the initial hiccup of a sim crash right out of Minneapolis, FS autosave via FSUIPC saved our butts, saved the flight, and we were able to pick up right where we left off without any further delays, and arrived into Atlanta. And like I said, that's going to do it for tonight's live stream. I appreciate everybody hopping on tonight, from Wifey to Frank to Bennett, aka Nebulation, to Golfy Plays, who is our Minneapolis tower controller up in Minneapolis, who stopped by to say hello, and also to Frack for stopping by with a couple of questions, and everybody else who tuned in and watched but might not have said hi on the live stream. I appreciate you. If you liked tonight's live stream and want to see more, make sure to subscribe and support the channel. Hit that like button and hop on the Discord server. The URL is on the YouTube page. Come and join us, and the more people we get over there onto Discord, we can get the get this particular community a little bit more active. So appreciate y'all. And again, this is Michael with Sky's Limit Aviation Channel, wishing you all a great rest of your hump day. It's 17 minutes to midnight, so enjoy the last couple minutes of your Wednesday. Have a great Thursday going into the weekend. We'll see you all soon. Take care. Bye bye now.